Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NAJIHAH binti ABDUL SATAR, and I would like to explain about the East Asian Community. The East Asian Community is a proposed trade bloc for Southeast Asian and East Asian countries, which will either emerge from the ASEAN Plus 3 or the East Asian Summits. It is because ASEAN took the best way in developing the economic growth of the ASEAN countries, which decided to cooperate with each other by holding several summits. This is because the summit is the guarantor of the effectiveness of an agreement. After that, East Asia has become a special and important region in the world in a short time. Initially, there was a growing information revolution among the regions present in East Asia, with new challenges and opportunities for regional cooperation. Therefore, the East Asian Vision Group aims to create a vision that will inspire the people and governments of East Asia. The visions to be created is to strive to build an East Asian community that will address the future challenges of the region and advance mutual understanding and trust. This is because with the effectiveness of the trust and understanding built, it will accelerate and launch the EAC in achieving the main purpose of its establishment. Furthermore, as we know, the conventional goal of development in ASEAN countries of the world has long been to achieve prosperity in the form of economic gain as enjoyed by Western countries. Moreover, the East Asian community success is based on the cooperation and openness provided by members who are directly or indirectly involved. The following key, which are economic cooperation, financial cooperation, political and security cooperation, environmental cooperation, social and cultural cooperation, and lastly, institutional cooperation. After that, the EAC has been committed in advancing the Southeast Asia. This is because there are importance of the East Asian community to maintain the security, prosperity, and social progress of the Southeast Asia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AMIRAH binti ROSLE, matrix number 2019437062. So, I will explain about the importance of East Asian community in terms of security, which is about the political and security cooperation among the East Asian country. East Asia is facing political and security difficulties, for example, numerous high-level political tensions and the escalation of long-running disputes among neighboring governments. In 1999, the East Asian Cooperation Joint Statement was adopted. The leaders of ASEAN countries, China, Japan and Korea reaffirmed their commitment to managing their mutual relations, for example, in treaty of amity and cooperation. Alright, so the concept of an East Asian Community or EAC was publicly accepted during the Japan-ASEAN Summit meeting in December 2003. The proposed community puts China, Japan, South Korea and the ASEAN countries together in a formalized framework to strengthen political and economic cooperation. So the Vision Group of East Asian Community or EAC strives for a peaceful, stable and cooperative East Asian community devoid of armed conflicts, violence and hostility, whether internal or external. So the primary objective of East Asian political and security cooperation is to foster neighborliness, mutual trust and solidarity among the region's countries. So the Vision Group, additionally, East Asia has faced in constructing a regional security community. Regarding that matter, the East Asian Community or EAC has increased discussions and reinforced cooperation mechanism in order to tackle piracy, drug trafficking, illegal migration, small weapon smuggling, money laundering, cybercrime, international terrorism and other human security concerns. As evidence, ASEAN security cooperation with Japan, which is cooperation between the Japanese Coast Guard and ASEAN to combat maritime piracy in the South China Sea and the Malacca Strait, improve the region's peace and stability. The issue has been highlighted as a serious concern because ships transporting valuable goods and harmful commodities, if seized by pirates, will have devastating consequences for regional security and the environment. Japan's participation in the ARF or Asia Regional Forum and SITI party talks meetings demonstrate Japan's commitment to contributing to the establishment of a peaceful area. Next, I will explain about the importance of East Asian community in terms of prosperity, which is about the economic cooperation. Alright, so East Asian crisis is simply the most recent in a series of spectacular economic disasters in emerging countries. The Asian financial crisis in 1997 highlighted the necessity for East Asian countries to make an economic cooperation. At the Manila Summit in November 1999, the leaders of ASEAN Plus 3 committed to comprehensive economic cooperation and mandated the economic minister with monitoring the implementation of the cooperation process on a regular basis. Okay, so the Vision Group of East Asian Community or EAC proposes integration of the East Asian economy, which will eventually lead to the formation of an East Asian Economic Community. Right, so as for the economic cooperation, the Vision Group of East Asian Community EAC also advocates the establishment of an East Asia Free Trade Area or EFTA and trade liberalization. Right, so as for example, regional economic integration between ASEAN and People's Republic of China, which is ASEAN-China Free Trade Agreement or ACFTA, may benefit ASEAN. The ASEAN-China Free Trade Agreement, ACFTA, will have a significant influence on regional economic growth when it is implemented in 2010 for ASEAN 6 and in 2015 for ASEAN 4. ASEAN economy will benefit from its 1.5 billion person population and 1.5 trillion US dollar GDP growth.
As for the financial cooperation, the changeable of international money can put East Asia at the crucial factor. The economic strength, structure, and interaction parameters that characterize and dominate global financial governance for the last half-century and influenced by the East Asia's growing economic and financial strength, increasing political influence, and importantly, enhanced regional financial cooperation. The Asian's financial crisis in 1997 provided an immediate impetus for the countries to appreciate the requirement for regional financial cooperation. Based on that, Asian countries reached an agreement to enhance their own risk management capabilities to stop and resolve any crisis within the future. As for district financial cooperation, it's divided into three, which is strengthen the crisis management regime, develop regional bond markets, and study regional grid cooperation and monetary integration. As for strengthening crisis management regime, Asian countries have made joint efforts to make cooperation schemes to resolve and avoid any crisis in the future. They start to focus more on making regional financing arrangement. ASEAN countries have expanded the quantity of existing exchange arrangements which are maintained since 1977 rather than making separate bilateral agreements from one another. Additionally, the expansion of regional bond markets since the crisis, there are many active discussions in most regional financial forums on the expansion of Asia's financial markets, which are relatively backward. There has been remarkable progress, especially in discussion on the event of regional bond markets, which aim to scale back dependence on external funding and also development of funds from within the region. Moreover, strengthen cooperation with major international financial organizations. Regional cooperative forums can strengthen their cooperative relation in it. It can help to make sure that the region's common interests are well reflected within the international communities and enable to promotion the regional financial cooperation to run smoothly. During this regard, cooperative relations between regional forums and international organizations become closer, and regional forums will develop more cooperative relations with one another, with each forum specialized in a very different field. Besides, on regional exchange cooperation and regional monetary integration, the essential goal of regional financial cooperation since the financial crisis is to develop an emergency funding system in preparation for future financial crises. However, studies have also been conducted on an ongoing basis on how major regional countries can cooperate in foreign exchange related policies and consolidate their currencies. These are conducted with the aim of preventing competitive currency devaluation in times of exchange crisis. As for the progress of regional financial cooperation, since the Asian financial crisis has been slow, but there are visible results on a limited scale. Within the process, Asian countries also are able to gather experience associated with regional financial cooperation. Therefore, countries have to strengthen their ability to work and expand the already established regional financial cooperation framework more effectively instead of trying out new areas for cooperation.
My name is NUR. I'm HANANI BINTI RAMLI, and I will explain on the environment and water resource management. most of East Asian countries are developed countries. The unsustainable styles of urban development are making developing countries as the main cause for environmental problems. Hence, here is come the importance of East Asian Community (EAC). The head of the countries in the region have actively took part in the establishment of a comprehensive East Asian Environmental Cooperation Body, as it will help in decrease the environmental problems by developing regional environmental networks, enhancing policymaking capacities, and tighten the regional institutional and legislative frameworks. In order to strengthen the regional institutional, all of environment ministers have regularly hold meetings for the coordination of regional environment projects. Furthermore, the countries in the region also have cooperated in the installation of air pollution equipment. This will resulting to reduce of transboundary pollution. For example, brown problems such as forest fires in Southeast Asia, yellow problems such as yellow dust and acid rain in Northeast Asia, and blue problems such as Mekong River issues. People around the world should be aware of the environmental issue. Therefore, the EAC also help in encourage the government to introduce environmental education at the early stage of school. This will advance the environmental policies and promoting environmentally friendly economy and increase the industrial development. The government in East Asian countries have worked together towards bilateral and multilateral environmental cooperation by regulating their synergetic efforts. Other than that, the EAC can assist to make certain powerful implementation of all multilateral agreements on environmental cooperation and protection by emphasizing the need for East Asia to take concerted actions in worldwide forums. For example, the Kyoto Protocol on Global Warming that can refer as a treaty built by the United Nations in 1997. The limited and renewable water resource in East Asia region seems to be on high demand because of the increasing of demographic change. Hence, the EAC helps in calls for joint endeavors to ensure more effective water resources management throughout the East Asian region. Lastly, the EAC welcomes the steering committee for the Yellow Sea Large Marine Ecosystem Project and the Northwest Pacific Action Program in Northeast Asia, and calls for closer regional marine environmental cooperation for the entire region. In conclusion, this has proven that the EAC can be very helpful in the matter of decreasing environmental issue and enhance water resource management for the better future.
Assalamualaikum, my name is NURUL binti ASPI. So I will explain about the importance of East Asian community in aspect of social, cultural and educational cooperations. First of all, the East Asian community play an important role in social progress when it makes East Asia community with its close social connections, educated and culturally vibrant communities that can effectively fight illiteracy, disease and poverty. East Asian countries uphold the values of social justice and human security and initiate regional initiatives to improve the life of all East Asians. By formulating regional poverty reduction plans that the wealthiest countries help the least developed country to overcome poverty and illiteracy. Next, the advancement campaign of literacy and education provide that will help the East Asians to enhance a comprehensive human resources development that will improve basic education, training and capacity building. These corporations have established a few programs. Firstly, the establishment of cultural and educational programs that encourage government in these regions to cooperate with relevant educational and cultural institutions to foster a strong awareness and sense of regional identity for the Southeast Asian community. Through active cultural and social exchange, all sectors of society can achieve this goal, especially encourage historians to participate in cooperative projects to explain the understanding of East Asian culture, civilization and also history. For the culture program, the East ASEAN community have proposed the establishment of a network and exchange of professionals in the field of art, cultural relics, and cultural heritage protections. The participants of young people in such program is very important to promote respect, understanding, and appreciation for the rich and heterogeneous heritage of the East ASEAN traditions. Next, to promoting East ASEAN studies in these regions, the East ASEAN community put forward study programs that are organized by the East ASEAN Research Network, which will carry out exchange, research, and also other projects on topics related to the current East ASEAN development. The establishment of the East ASEAN Education Fund also important in supporting the literacy programs, skill training, and basic education when it provides scholarships to help students pursue higher education at the university level. For the social programs, the East ASEAN community has an important role in addressing and resolving various forms of prejudice and the inequality that can affect their respective societies, such as between rich and poor, between illiterate and literate, between the sexes, and between different ethnic and religious communities. They also play their roles in call on rich countries to make significant contributions to helping the undeveloped countries overcome poverty, illiteracy, and also the disease. Not only that, they also urge East ASEAN countries to take concerted actions to expand and improve access to basic medical care, especially for those at risk, so that the spread of HIV, malaria, and other infectious diseases can be quickly stopped. Lastly, the establishment of the East Asia Forum can be composed of government and non-government representatives from different departments in these regions as an institutional mechanism for intensive, ultimately regional cooperation and social exchange. So that's all from me. I pass for the next presenter.
As we know, every organization has its own interest and importance, that not only for itself but also for others. The same goes for the EAC, which has its own set of importance, which consists of various aspects. This is because the EAC has been committed in advancing the Southeast Asia. Other than that, the progress of Southeast Asia also depends on the effectiveness of EAC interventions. This is because there are importance of the East Asian community to safeguard the security, prosperity, and social progress of Southeast Asia.